try a different way to do it. But hello, chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are meeting some of the team of LegalQ. You can see here we have the esteemed Anthony Brunetti and Austin Simba. We are rocking Team LegalQ from the Zoom interface. So I'm gonna check one thing real quick on YouTube just to make sure. Chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, today it's working. Anthony, Austin, can you guys say hi? See if it's working on your end. And
Hey guys, how you doing?
Team LegalQ from the Zoom interface. Love it. Okay, so this is gonna be double for a sec, but there's like a 10-second delay for when you. Hey, it's working. Anthony, Austin, can you guys say hi? See if it's working on your end. By the way, this is the video if you guys want to check that out. Love it. Okay, so this is gonna be double for a sec, but there's
Yeah,
like
I
a
have it
10-second
open.
delay.
I can see there's a short delay between what we're
Yeah,
showing and that. So watching both is kind of
dude, it's hard. Like it's really really hard because you have to like
can't really.
play where you're at with it. So, um, okay, cool. Well, the first thing I want to do is just introduce you guys in a more official way. We're gonna chop all these up into videos as we do the live stuff and then into content. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, I have in front of you two of the most incredible humans on the planet in their respective fields. Dr. Brunetti is by far one of the best marketers you'll ever meet. He's a great guy to boot and loves product. And I'll let you do your intro from that. Austin is one of the most incredible, just humble salespeople you'll ever meet, and just is incredibly effective at his job. And he's a great guy to boot, and also an aspiring YouTube creator too. So we'll talk a little bit about that going forward as well. So Anthony, you want to jump in, give your little 2-minute spiel on who we're chatting with and your life story. Ready to go?
Yeah, sure. Anthony Brunetti, run marketing at LegalQ, lifelong entrepreneur and digital marketing expert. Managed over 50 million in online ad spend. Worked with a dozen clients in an agency capacity. Also involved with some venture studios, venture capital firms, and private equity firms to help them scale their portfolio companies. Um, when I'm not behind a computer doing online marketing, I also play a doctor on TV. Pleasure to meet you all.
I love it. I love it. Uh, that's amazing. And Anthony is he wears many many hats, and you're gonna get to see that I think more and more as we grow here. And really really great dude. The cutest kids on the planet too, by the way. So hopefully a couple of them will jump in here, do it kind of like that BBC. Have you guys ever see that like COVID BBC show where the guy was talking about like some geopolitical thing and his kids like ran into the room. His wife is like trying to grab her and like pull her back. It's just like randomly talking on live TV with the BBC is hilarious. So hopefully we get some of that. But Austin, do you wanna give your background, your intro, and tell the people what you got going on in your life?
Hey guys, my
Well,
name is Arnold Austin, and I'm 24 years old. I'm aspiring director and wrench monkey. And on my weekends, I'm an entrepreneur as well, trying to venture on other other businesses and stuff.
love it, love it.
And full color with of course with LegalQ.
Beautiful, man. And we definitely appreciate it. And it's fun is like every single person that has some touch point with startups in general. I think this kind of creates this ecosystem of people that are just curious people, right? Like nobody's this binary like I go to work and then I go home. And not to say that people that don't do startups do that, but I don't know. Every person that I met that has touch points with startups like has so many different cool passions and are legit like very um I don't know, just curious people, which I love. Those are my people. And so both you guys are exemplary versions of that. So appreciate you both a lot. So today, guys, we yesterday had a great meeting to talk through how to mitigate some of the issues that we were seeing with customer flows and how we can better support the customers and the attorneys by getting them through the life cycle of start to finish. Basically, Anthony, do you want to give maybe like a high level perspective on just how we acquire today, and then just kind of like the parts where Austin jumps in, and then the part that we're going to work on today is basically some of the middle ground pieces, right? So after Austin chats with these attorneys, like how do we make sure that they have the best support to get to the demo, to get to the platform, and that kind of thing. So if you want to talk kind of high level of the whole process, Anthony, would love for you to do so.
Um, Supply side marketing, the attorney side
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from yeah. So um, you know, first I'll say we've been blessed with a lot of referrals from successful attorneys who have success on our platform. That helps a whole lot. But we run numerous outbound and inbound marketing to acquire new attorneys. Google ads, Facebook ads, that would be classified as the inbound marketing for Google for attorneys. And we also have a really incredible outbound marketing strategy that includes everything from email to telephone calls. And Austin here has been doing a fantastic job setting up appointments with different attorneys and legal practices to demo the platform, get a few free leads, and actually give them a chance to fall in love and get hooked to the sauce. So
It's a
we
good
can
way
go
to
into
say it.
details more. Yeah. Um, there's a lot of intricacies to all of this, everything from, ad copy to the scripts that we use to the way we source our data. These are all crucial components to success or failure. Even in the script that Austin uses when he outbound dials, as well as what list of attorney offices are we giving him to outbound dial. Um, at LegalQ, our goal is to provide a very high quality experience to our users. We want our users to become our biggest fans. So when you come through our platform and you need help with your immigration issue, or you know uh, your You got pulled over for a DUI, whatever's going on in your life, we want to make sure that the attorney that we connect you to is extremely capable and highly rated. So what
Totally.
we do, and what Austin is focusing on now, is truly attorneys that have 4 stars and above on everything from Google local. So if an attorney has 4 stars or above in Google, or if they have 5 stars in AVVO, which is a platform where attorneys go to try to grow their business. So we really focus on high quality attorneys, and that's a must. And then the way we sharpen the edge is we focus on attorneys who are in the market trying to grow their practice. So when Austin makes a phone call, he's not just connecting with a random attorney's office that we pulled out of the yellow pages. He's
Right.
connecting with an attorney's office who is currently investing money into growing their practice. They have a
Right.
sponsored listing on Google. They have a sponsored listing on ABVO. So we know that they're a high quality attorney. That means they're going to do a good job for our users, as well as do a good job for themselves. If they're a good attorney, they'll convert the leads and consultations that LegalQ sends to them, which will then have them enroll and become a paying customer. So by focusing on high quality, competent, and attorneys who are looking to grow, it gives us the ability to have an amazing cost per acquisition. And to date, actually, a lot of startups, especially in SaaS and tech, you forgot something that's classic. It's called the telephone. Don't forget your telephone, people. Okay, people will always be using their
Yeah.
telephones to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
calls.
yeah.
Don't forget to pick up the phone.
Love it.
And for the record, Austin is outperforming every one of our marketing channels to date because it's a human and a voice. Okay, so don't forget to pick up the telephone. Remember, do things that don't scale, and I'll just leave it right there for now.
I love that. I love that. That's so good, and it's so true. I can't wait. I can't wait for that short to just go viral. Like, don't forget your phones, people. It's so true. Hi, Andy. By the way, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you. And yeah, we're rocking it with the team today. And yeah, Anthony is the man on uh, all things marketing, customer acquisition, and minimizing our costs on that. And um, he's a great guy to boot. So Andy, you are so incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just sneak peek chat, you might be seeing Andy on the LegalQ live stream next week. So stay tuned for that. We're really, really, really excited for that. So we'll be blasting on all the socials when we're able to talk about that a little more. Uh, basically, you nailed it, Anthony. Like, if you don't do the the channels that are historically the ones that perform well, like, people think that you can automate everything under the sun, and you can do a lot with that, but if you don't use the channels that, like you described, right, Austin is outperforming all the other ones by a big margin, and you have to just remember that these are the things that work effectively. So I love that. And Austin, one of the things we chatted about yesterday was kind of optimizing some of the ways to just have that interaction with the attorneys. Do you want to kind of talk through your process on that, and like what you found to be effective, and what maybe you kind of you're working towards with the script on that?
Yeah, I was working on the script earlier on how to effectively, get attorneys from, I mean, cold calling is, hard enough itself, giving
Right.
calls, but, trying to personalize that specific process in order for the attorneys to trust you over the phone. They don't even know me, or they're unfamiliar with LegalQ, but, just trying to sound confident and the tone of voice on how you deliver the message. And well, basically that's the thing that we're working on right now, because every there are cultural blocks that I need to unravel, especially when you're calling different states. And that's the thing that I discovered when you call multiple states in, in less than 8 hours. So, how you specifically talk to them, how you approach them, and going from there. I guess
I
that's what
love
I'm trying
it.
to work on right now.
I love it.
Yeah. I just want to jump in and say two things. One, a lot of people use this term cold outbound. If you're doing it right, it's not cold. You should be always implying
Mm.
an association that builds comfort. There are two components to that make it not cold. The first one is on our script, we reference where they're currently advertising. So we're going to say, we found you on Google and we saw that you had 5 stars. So now this says, okay, you were selected for a reason. Okay. We don't just call every attorney's office. That's number one. So this makes them feel special and lets them know that they were selected, they were qualified, pre-qualified before we outreach to them. The other is give people an offer they cannot refuse. If we task Simba, I'm sorry, Austin, I call him Simba sometimes, I like the Lion King. Okay, if we tasked Austin with calling people and trying to separate their money from their wallet or ask for a payment, he'd get hung up on all day over and over. He'd get a lot of no's. And psychologically, it's a very, very hard job to do. I've seen some of the greatest salespeople emotionally collapse when given an offer that was a hard sell. If you
So true.
believe strongly in your product, yeah, I mean, the bottom line is if you believe strongly in your product and you're expecting a high LTV, that stands for lifetime value, and repeat purchase orders, it doesn't matter if you're in SaaS, it doesn't matter if you're in CPG. I always tell people this is the same story over and over. I'll just give you an example to a client, and shout out to Country Archer. They have some of the best beef jerky in the world. If anyone likes meat snacks,
You love to see
I'm
it.
currently
You love to see it.
so what? Yeah, it's really good stuff. And when we run ads, sometimes the cost of acquisition, I'm just going to make up a number here. I'm going to say $20. It will cost us to get a new customer. Okay. Now, if it costs us $20 to get a new customer, what does that mean? Well, that means we can probably give away $20 worth of product and you would get a customer to experience the product, right? So the same holds true for LegalQ or your business. If you spend $500 to acquire a new customer, well, what would happen if you offer them a very good offer that they can't refuse and say, that's the cost of acquiring a customer, right? So what we do at LegalQ is we give them a chance to taste the goods because these are truly exclusive, high quality leads.
Right.
I've spent my life quite literally running ads for everything from fire extinguishers to socks to SaaS software, you name it, I've done advertising for it in my life. And the leads we're bringing to the table, they're 100% exclusive. And I'm taking that lifelong experience to acquiring those leads. There's just no way that a law office would be able to go in, sign up to Google Ads or Microsoft Ads, and generate the quality leads at the cost that we bring to the table. So we're so confident in
Right.
our
Right.
product that we give them 3 leads. Okay. And it costs us money to acquire those because we strongly believe you'll come back and buy more. So just to wrap this all up, you have to truly be generous in your cold outbound to have a high conversion rate and empower your salespeople to succeed. So I'm just going to leave it there. And the other thing I'd like to also discuss, Austin,
Great point.
in the BPO aspect of startups here in the States, I think it's a little bit stigmatized, and more and more now with the remote economy and post-pandemic world, teams are working distributed around the world, and this is something that is going to become more and more commonplace when you realize that you can find talented people everywhere across the globe. And we're also empowering Austin and helping him succeed in his life. This is important to us at LegalQ, and it should be important to all companies.
Here,
So,
here.
you know, yeah, I don't know if you want to touch on that at all, Zeb. It's totally up to you, but I think there's just a whole lot of power in leveraging, overseas talent, especially for startups that are, on a tight budget and really testing the waters.
No, I love that, and I 1,000% agree, Anthony. Like Austin is one of the best humans I've ever met in my life. Great guy. He's been put through the ringer and is truly just I would hire you at any wherever you are on the planet, Austin. Like truly, like, and that's the thing is like you don't like if you can try to find a way, yeah, man, truly, like if you can find a way to find labor arbitrage in a way that makes sense and also have good people, like Minneapolis doesn't have enough of this talent where if we just were truly like localized to what this is, like we couldn't do it, right? Anthony and I met on an app. I didn't even see the guy for the first 6 months because we were just talking to each other, right? Austin, we got lucky, to be honest, when we with the BPO firm, and we worked with you and found out that you were a really solid solid guy and solid at your job. And this is the case. I'd say like I've worked internationally just through LegalQ alone, like literally, guys. It's been with people in Pakistan, in Vietnam, in the Philippines, in Eastern Europe, in South America, in Western Europe, in South Korea, and 7 states in the U.S. have all been a part of LegalQ, and one in Canada. He's a great guy too. And like all of these are like amazing people that deliver incredible products. And the cool thing is like everybody, to Anthony's, or to your point, Anthony, like you're helping out each other, right? Like if everybody is able to come to an agreement on what is fair for the amount of work relative to the circumstances of where you're at, then that's a beautiful thing, right? And it also opens up opportunities. Austin, like if you still work with LegalQ after a while, I'd love to give you the opportunity to buy into LegalQ, like truly, like, or to offer you equity as part of that. And there's a lot of rules around that internationally, and that kind of sucks, but well, you figure it out, right? And so like now Austin has a vested interest in the success of LegalQ, right? And so as you grow, as you enable access to different aspects of the kind of growth chain, to be a good steward of the capital that you have to apply to the company, you have to find good people everywhere. So totally agree, 1,000%. Austin, what's your experience like with the BPOs or different and not to put you on the spot to talk shitty about your employer or anything, but just holistically, how's that been for you?
I'm thankful with my previous employers. They gave me the opportunity, right, when I had no skills or no experience at all. They meant me to be the person who I am today. And I respect that. But working with LegalQ has been such a different approach to me, since that I have you guys on the spot with me. I mean, all the time. You guys are the only people I talk with LegalQ. I mean, for reals, literally. So that's different. And the amount of I don't know how to say this, like how you guys care for the company, for your employees, or to me specifically, then that's really, I think, really hands on. And I couldn't really say more about it because I'm not the verbal type of guy, but
All
I
good, man.
appreciate. And I just want to be working with legal as long as I could be, and it's just
Appreciate you. Uh, we'll be sending your bonus for saying these kind things very soon.
hey,
No, thank you. We're lucky to have you, and I appreciate you. And would love to share with the world the stuff that you're working on too, outside of the work that you do with LegalQ. So excited for that. Thank you. All right, guys. So one of the biggest things that we chatted about yesterday was kind of a refinement of the scripts that we had been looking at, and maybe the best way to do this. In chat, by the way, I'm still a noob at the figuring out what streams, how to stream this most effectively. I know it's pretty janky right now, but we'll get to the place where it's much, hopefully much simpler and easier for everybody to see the content and all the good stuff with that. So I think the best way we can try it with this, guys, let me know if you can see my shared screen on Zoom.
Yeah, I can see it.
You guys see this okay?
Yep.
Okay, sweet. So yesterday we talked through some of the scripts like Anthony was describing, basically coming from the perspective of if you can kind of have those touch points with these attorneys, and to Anthony's point again, like if you can get the good ones from the beginning and share with them that like we're selecting you because you are good and because you have these kind of high quality attributes through Google, through LinkedIn, through all these other platforms, then you're able to really have that connection point. So Austin, do you want to talk a little bit about the couple of the edits you made? Excuse me, guys.
Sorry. With the script that I made.
Yeah, were you able to test it yet, or we can hold off on that too if you haven't yet?
Not yet. Not yet, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Actually, just
Yeah.
I think New York, the New York specific, the specific folder for New York, or doesn't have any, or yeah, New York Google Local has no leads yet, and Google Local Connecticut as well. So
Okay.
the only thing that I could touch here would be the California Google lawyers and the database lead list.
Okay.
And I think I'll be touching that later on around 3, I guess.
Okay.
So I'll be checking first would be the official Austin call list, the one you guys have.
Yep.
But instead of calling the ones that I call mostly, like the page that has the 19 calls, I'll be going to the back part of it. So like instead of dialing page 1, I'll be dialing page 4 directly, since that they have less calls or less interactions with me.
Okay.
I'm calling, making sure that I'll be utilizing this specific folder.
Okay, cool. I love it. I love it. Anthony, do you want to talk a little bit about Phone Burner holistically? Just why we chose it, what it is, all the things.
Yeah, yeah, it's really designed to be an outbound cold calling machine. The most important aspect of Phone Burner is the ability to have a local presence in every area that you're calling. The statistic for pickup rate, it's like 50% higher if you get a phone call that shows the local area code. And we all know this, when you get all those phone calls from cold callers, we typically ignore phone calls that come from 800 numbers or different area codes. So Phone Burner enables us to buy a pool of phone numbers and to have a local presence in every market that we dial. That's number one. Number two, there's some power dialing features. So it'll ring multiple phone numbers at the same time, and then whoever picks up the line gets connected to Austin. So it has the power of 6 hands when he's dialing. It gives him he's like an octopus, and he's able to have a higher connection rate with the leads. Other fancy features are automatic voicemail drops. So if the lead doesn't pick up the phone, he clicks a button and it leaves a voicemail automatically. So it's just really a tool that's designed for productivity, for outbound dialing, and I've had some good experiences with it. And Zeb, I will say I have to take a quick break, and I will be back with you shortly. Okay, I'll jump right back on Zoom.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. So basically as he was saying, you can sign up And shout out to Phone Burner. It's not a paid ad by any means. We just use them to do so, and they're really good. Like Austin, do you use it every day? Do you? How does it compare against some other ones you might have used?
Well, yeah, for me, phone burner has been really convenient as as an outbound specialist. It it allows you to leave a voicemail without actually speaking, and sends an email without actually you sending an email. So it's just a push of a button, and it's really convenient for me as an outbound specialist. I could focus more on the people that I haven't called on.
Cool, love it, love it. Um, so the thing that we currently have is really powerful. Anthony was describing like top of funnel, like we have these ways to basically acquire the best attorneys through either directories or scraping different sites on that, or just manually finding them in LinkedIn. And if they have a high enough rating, then we target them and target them um, by giving them a call, seeing if they're available. And we describe to them explicitly, like, hey guys, we're calling you because you are really, really highly rated, right? You have this high rating in either Google, Avo, LinkedIn, some of these different places, and we want to work with you. And so to that end, we kind of bake that into the script, and from that process, either they say no, thanks, try again, or we get them to a demo call. And the demo calls is when basically I jump in and say, hey, I'm Zeb, bummer for you, you have to put up with me, but the rest of the company is good. And then you're able to basically walk them through the platform, and we've honestly are probably about 90% hit rate on that. Once we get them to the demo place, they're really likely to at least try the demo part. The tricky piece with this is if Austin calls them and they call back or they text back, right? Currently, what was happening was this going to a Google Voice number that I completely dropped the ball on, and I didn't realize they were getting sent to that. So then basically we have this backlog of people that want to be reached out to, right? Or like at least want to re-engage with us, but haven't been able to do that. So with that said, yesterday we talked about changing how we approach this to having a more unified and more team-friendly way to basically interact with these people from a software's perspective, right? And so what we came up with, there's a bunch of different options in this space, by the way. We haven't even used, Anthony has used a bunch of them, so then he kind of gave his recommendations across these few. But basically, we're going to give Dialpad a try to see if this is a better system to basically allow for us to have kind of a one-stop shop place where if people call back, Austin can interact with them through the website. I can do the same, and we can basically have a touch point with the people that are interested in potentially using LegalQ more effectively. So that's the plan from last night to today. Like everything in a startup, guys, you will discover that basically it takes longer than you think it will, because in order to port the number from Google Voice, which it currently is, to Dialpad, it takes 3 to 5 business days. You have to unlock it. You have to do all these different steps along the way. So plan ahead, I would say, if you're working on kind of optimizing these different flows. And then the other cool thing about it is it has an integration with HubSpot. So HubSpot's our CRM. It's our source of truth for all things customers, and just making sure that we're taking care of them in an effective way and not leaving them hanging, which historically has been kind of a flaw of our process. And so it allows for just us to have that better visibility of like how we can simplify that process, engage with them more effectively, and enable kind of our next steps in that process, right? Getting them to the demo, and then post demo, once they're actual customers, we have the ability to either approve or deny the attorneys that apply to LegalQ, And if they have a referral, then we keep track of the referral, who sends the other attorneys to us at what point, so we can, pay or not pay, but give free consultations to those attorneys that refer those to us. And then just enable the process to be simpler, right? Like we want this process to be as seamless as possible. And the cool thing about the product that we have is like it's good for both sides. Like that's the thing that's us, and I hope this makes it easier to sell, right? It's like it's free for the users, right? Like it's a 15-minute free consultation with an attorney in your jurisdiction, in your area of law. On the attorney side, and this isn't supposed to be salesy, by the way, this is just facts. On the attorney side, we're about 10 to 20% cheaper than some of the competitors, and it's an exclusive lead that can literally get applied to your calendar in real time. Anthony is by far one of the best performance marketers on the planet. He and his team customize the approach that they take per attorney that joins the platform to optimize for getting them quality leads. And the other cool thing about that is it's historically been about 1 in 5 turn into a paying client, right? Whereas LegalQ or some of the other competitors, the ABA had some stats on this and said it's about 1 in 10 turn into a paying client. So you're saving time on both sides. The users get a free experience. If they want to use a lawyer, great. If they don't, God bless, do your thing. If the attorneys want to, pick this up as a client, that's great. If not, then, at least they were able to help somebody with a legal issue. And so all that said, I feel passionate that we're literally live streaming the business processes of how we do our company, right? Like, I don't know how many competitors would be able to say with a straight face that they're giving this level of transparency into their processes, into what they do. I mean, we'll talk to the attorneys too, and like tell them, like, look, guys, you can start your own Google Ads campaign, and if you want to try it, that's great. Go for your thing. But if you see what we see and the world sees, which is that, take an area of law in that jurisdiction and, say it's $50 a click to get from, this Google ad to this person seeing it to clicking on your landing page, right? Say it takes 1 in 5 to get from Google to landing page to giving a call, right? That's $250, 5 times 50, to get to that person to having a conversation with you, right? The cool thing about LegalQ is like we do all of that messy work. We automate some of that process. We use some light touch AI to ensure that they're landing in the right spot. And then we can offer that at literally half that price and then some. So like that's the thing is like, in some ways we should probably charge more. So, which is another conversation. Our CFO isn't back till later today. So I think maybe we'll talk to him about that. And that might be in the future, but basically we're doing right by people. And that's something I stand by and feel proud about, because if you don't have a good product, if you don't have a good team, if you don't have a good way to optimize for the success of your customers, like you truly are just at the mercy of like how good can your like near-term gains be at the cost of the long-term stuff. So that's my soapbox. I'll get off it now. But basically, getting back to kind of the nuts and bolts of this. So I did start the process on Dialpad, Austin. So basically I'm working through that. We are initially set up with them. We just got to wait for the 3 to 5 days. So we'll do some training sessions probably Thursday this week with you and Anthony just to get set up on that. We'll import the number, and so then we can use that as kind of our jumping off point to when these people call back and text back. We'll be able to get them into that system and hopefully do it in a more effective way, right? If we can have those touch points with Dialpad in HubSpot, then I think we'll be able to keep track of those customers a lot more effectively. And beyond that, Anthony we're working towards kind of like the holistic life cycle of the customers, right? The customer journey as part of LegalQ. the marketing journey, and hopefully we can get that to the place where it's emphatically a seamless process. And then what we can do with that is then apply analytics to it, right? Like say we've had X many customers drop from this point to that point. We can say this, look at the drop spots and see where those can be more effective. So that is that in a nutshell. So basically, guys, a lot of this today was I just wanted the team to meet two pretty incredible guys on our team in Anthony and Austin. I think we can call it here now. We'll stay on the Zoom call, guys. I'll jump off the stream. I just wanted everyone to meet you, get a taste for Anthony's New York, Queens accent. Brooklyn first, sorry, then Queen. My bad. And Austin's amazing qualities as well. And yeah, I think you guys will be seeing more of these guys along the way. We're gonna do some special, specific kind of ones where it's a little bit more formal. This is just kind of a meet and greet style where we're starting this along the way. And yeah, guys, any thoughts before we sign off here?
None for me. You explained it very well, though. So,
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. Take care, brush your teeth, comb your hair.
Great life advice, Anthony Bernetti.
secure with my hair. Dang.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Look at this. I got like more grays coming through than I think it's dark hair anymore. Oh my lord. All right, chat. We'll see you soon. We'll be jumping on a little bit later today too with some other fun streams. So thank you for joining. And we are in the process of finding an editor for this, by the way, so they can kind of piece together all these crazy like disparate scenes into more cohesive libraries of actually hopefully effective content for you as you kind of just view into the life cycle of a startup. And so looking forward to that, and we'll chat soon. Thanks, everybody.